Good day, everyone. My name is Divitra Nagalingam, and my partner Varshni Jagarajan and Naga Subhashini is here today to talk about our case study presentation for Cost Ethical Hacking, code DFS 40093. Without time delay, let's start the presentation. In our case study activity, we are given task to solve a problem regarding a website operated by a security brokerage firm suffers a hacking attack. As a result of the attack, the firm's customers are unable to conduct trades for several hours. On the day of the attack, the stock market is volatile and many customers are trying unsuccessfully to buy or sell stocks. The customers are very unhappy and blame the firm for failing to prevent, detect, and recover from the attack. After having a sincere group discussion regarding our case study task, we have come out with an outline for the problem statement. A, sec- a security brokerage firm suffers a hacking attack while operating a website. As the consequence of the attack, the firm realized that its business data has been hacked. Hundreds of thousands of customer personal information, which included personally identifying information like phone numbers and bank account numbers, were exposed. The sequence was sadly not that unusual. A hacker breaches and a company serves, gets access to sensitive data, and then demands in ransom. One of the best ways to stop this criminal and secure sensitive data by making utilize of unscrutable security that uses the undefined system of software and hardware to authenticate any data that is accessed over the internet. Next, we also go through deeply about problem faced by the firm to observe what might be the possible of the attack. Hackers mainly target wealthy individuals or wealthy organizations like banks, casinos, and budgetary firms where a huge sum of cash flow day by day and hack sensitive data, catching some offenders in troublesome. Consequent- cons- Consequently, the increases of numbers of cybercrimes over the global merited life sentence of hackers who recklessly endanger the lives of others. Malicious hackers who create a life-threatening circumstance by attacking computer networks for transportation system, power companies, and other public services for utilized can be prosecuted under the law. The possibility deals of this hacking attack on firm website computer system by the hacker may prohibited as following. Taking a remote control of a computer once you have done been authorized to do so. Using a computer to send unsocialized data to people. Redirecting a web browser to another site that is not authorized by user. Displaying advertisement that cause the user to have to close out of the internet browser. Changing the default web page of the browser. Misleading users so that click on the web page link and duplicating a similar web page to mislead a user. Some of the biggest data breaches were caused by the third parties. Next, my group member Nagasubhashini will proceed the presentation.
Thank you, Jivitra. Next, we proceed the presentation with what is the impacts of the hacking attack faced by the entire member involved. A successful cyber attack can cause major harm to the business. It can influence the food line as well as the business standing and customer trust. The effect of a security breach can be broadly separated into many categories, for example, financial, reputational, and lawful. As businesses store more of their and their customers' information online, they are getting to be progressively helpless to cyber cheats. Managing with online criminals increments cybersecurity costs. This may eventually stream down to customers within the form of higher prices. Here are some of impacts faced by the entire member because of the hacking. attack on firm website. First, let's see what the impact faced by the company or firm. Economic cost of hacking attack. The firm will face financial issues as in inability to refinance debt due to tight credit conditions. Cyber attacks regularly result in significant financial loss arising from steal of corporate information, stealing of financial information, example bank details or payment card details, robbery of company money, disruption to trading, example, inability to carry out transaction online, loss of business or contract. Businesses that suffered a cyber breach will also generally suffer costs associated with repairing effects, systems, networks, and devices. Second is cost of technical recovery. After a hack, systems need to be reinstalled and redeployed to make sure nothing of the hacker leaves behind. Although this can be quite costly, the expenses can be reasonably calculated beforehand. Another factor of the cost is that the employees that are reinstalling systems cannot work on anything else, so there may be a delay in projects. Third is reputational damage. Trust is an essential element of customer relationship. Cyber attacks can damage your businesses reputation and erode the trust your customers have for you. This can also turn into media attention. In turn, could potentially lead to loss of customers, loss of sales, reputation in profits. The effects of reputational damage can even impact on your suppliers or affect relationship between you may have with partners, investors, and other third parties listed in your business. Fourth is legal consequences of cyber breach. Data assurance and security laws require you oversee the security of all individual information you hold, whether on your staff or your clients. In case this information is accidentally or intentionally compromised and you have got failed to convey fitting security measures, you may face fines and administrative sanction. Then, hacking and information burglary. One of the foremost common result of hacking is information burglary. Hackers will pick up, get to a computer in arrange to take delicate data, counting extra usernames and passwords, credit card numbers, touchly corporate information, or other profitable data. They might do this for money related pickup or basically out of interest. Next, let's see what is the impacts towards customers. Customer. Customers are the soul of any business. Your customer base is made up of several components, a few more imperative than others. Repeat customers save costs and increase profits, thus enhancing company value. The major components of your customer base are: 1. Customer worried and loyalty on company fails. Having repeat customers is a very important aspect of your customer base. Repeat customers save costs and increase profits, thus enhancing company value. Providing a quality product or service and excellent follow-up support leads to increased customer loyalty. When customers are very unhappy and blame the firm for failing to prevent, detect, and recover from the attack. They are worried about their personal information might be exposed because of the hacking. A trust issue will be placed in this scenario. Second is effects marketing opportunities. Proactive customer service isn't just about customer delight. It's also a powerful marketing tools you can take advantage of. For instance, customers who are unhappy with this service such that they are generate negative thought, this lead to sales problem. When the company faced the cyber breach, not only company and customer faced the impact, the shareholder of the company are also affected. Shareholder and bondholder rank high on the list because they have a mortgage, collateral, or other assets of the company. They will be paid first. Stockholder and unsecured creditors take the most risk and generally have the most difficult time recovering any money after a company files for cyber breach. 1. Dividends are stopped completely. The interests of shareholder are negatively impacted during the cyber attack occurred. This is because of the company files for hacking usually have more liabilities than they have assets, and also their cash flow is inadequate at the point in time. Hence, any cash flow that a company has in use to pay back the debt holders first. As per the company's law, the company does not have any obligation to make payments to the shareholders. The company is supposed to pay the shareholders only when they are making profits and have excess money. Hence, in the event of cyber breach, any dividend payment are stopped. This has a massive negative impact on the shareholder who are depend upon the individuals for their monthly income. Second is valuation gets wiped out. When the company faced on cyber breach, it is important to realize that the company information details for the hacked attack will be very less of value left. The value of the shareholders' investments might get completely wiped out. Shareholders stand to lose all or most of their money. Third is my loss of management rights. The shareholders of the company might lose management rights as well. Until the firm website recovered from the cyber attack, the management appointed by the shareholders is in complete control of the firm. In case of any important decision has to be made, it needs to be approved by the bankruptcy court. Therefore, if shareholders feels that they can implement a reorganization plan which will benefit them, then they cannot be implement it till the approval of all other shareholders is also received. This might make them lose. The number of shares or the value of shares issued may be reduced. From a shareholder's point of view, this is a grave loss. Ideally, the value of the shares that they hold is being transferred to the debt holder. After facing a huge hacking attack on the website operated by a security brokerage, the firm has to be overcome this problem and recover from the attack in a small period of time by implement all the steps below in their organization. The data security program must incorporate the taking after. Point one is security awareness training to advise workforce of the data security risk associated with their activities and their duties in complying with organization policies and standards outlines to reduce this risk. Second point is periodic testing and assessments of the effectiveness of data security policies, strategies, and practices with a frequency depending on risk but not less than annually. Third point is a process for planning, implementing, evaluating, and documenting remediation to address any dependency in the information security policies, procedures, and practices of the agency. Fourth point is procedures for identifying, reporting, and recreating to security incidents, including moderating risk associated with such incidents. Sometimes recently considerable damage is done, and informing and consulting with the government data security occurrence reaction center and as appropriate law authorization organization. Next is hackers can attack the network from an inaccessible network, a remote dial-up network, or a local network through social engineering, stolen hardware, or physical access. After that, understand the security testing type. Moreover, next is ethical hackers can test a network utilizing black box, white box, or gray box testing techniques. Lastly, the cyber security enhancement can be utilized to prosecute ethical hackers who recklessly endanger the lives of others. Next, my group member Varshini will proceed the presentation.
Thank you, Nagasubhashini. Now we proceed the presentation with legal implication. Hacking is rapidly getting to be one of the most unsafe types of crime, not just within the Malaysia but universally. An inquire about report distributed by the National Cyber Security Agency Malaysia in October 2017 concluded, based on measurements from the worldwide antivirus provider, that security assaults by cyber criminals are within the billions, with numbers rising year after year. Concern over online hacking and the consequent comprising of individual information is at an all-time tall. Hence, just as of late, the questionable subject to a security assault of uncommon levels, did programmers underraining to offer the individual data of the sites 37 million clients for profit. The issue of data security is clearly at the forefront of legal discussions of hacking. But how does the law provide for the protection of personal data in the Malaysia? It is only in the last 25 years, with the rapid growth of computer usage and huge advances in technology, that legislation designed to contract cybercrime has been passed by the Malaysia government. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission were made compatible to the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Communication Act 1998 as a new controller for the communications and multimedia industry in Malaysia. At the same time, the Communication and Mixed Media Act 1998 was passed to fulfill the got to direct a progressively merged communication and interactive media industry. Firstly, the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 is based on the essential standards of transparency and clarity, more competition and less control, adaptability, bias towards band rules, regulatory forbearance, emphasis on prepare instead of substance, administrative and division straightforwardness, and industry self-regulation. The Act looks for to supply a non-specific set of administrative arrangements based on non-specific definitions of advertise and benefit activities and administration. The purview of this act is confined to organized administration and exercises as it were. In Malaysia, MCMC is capable for administration of the Postal Services Act, which administers postal and dispatch services by means of the powers given under the Postal Services Act 2012 PSA 2012. The PSA 2012 may be a transformative postal legislation to bargain with the postal challenges of the 21st century. The PSA 2012 repeats PSA 1991 and makes modern arrangements to way better control the postal benefit industry in a multiplayer environment, advance efficient improvement of the industry, and protect widespread benefit provisioning. The PSA 2012 applies best administrative practices such as straightforward permitting system, versatile all-inclusive benefit provisioning based on changing customers' needs, advancement of healthy and reasonable competition, as well as principle of self-regulation. Second is the Digital Signature Act 1997, DSA 1997. It came into drive on 1st October 1998 to control the use of advanced signature and to supply for extra things associated to its use in Malaysia. This DSA 1997 encourages e-business and e-commerce exercises by using the computerized signature rather than a customary handwritten signature in legal and commercial exchanges. Advanced under Digital Signature Regulations 1998, 2 sets out an obligatory permitting plot for bank for being the hackers of advanced certificates, perceived source and perceived date timestamp specialists. This issue of information protection concerns clearly more than fair the correct to privacy. Hacking encourages a number of other crimes as a result of unapproved access to personal data with access to key individual data, including names, address, credit card numbers, and therapeutic details. Hackers are situated to attempt fraud and identity theft, which can cause significant legal issues for both for victims and the business whose security system failed to anticipate attacks. In a comparable vein, businesses are experts at the risk of mental property robbery. Programmers may be able to get to the data about a company's key ventures, computer program or innovation, which can then be sold on for benefit. Although not all hacking is done for the purposes of terrorism, hackers will be considered as terrorists in the event that their activities are considered in a means of threatening the public or undoubtedly a specific area of the open or promoting a political, religious, or ideological cause. With various and far reaching legal suggestions, hacking is an issue that those who use innovation to store their important data from people and families to businesses of all sizes must be mindful of. Next is Malaysian law. Malaysian cyber laws refers to any laws relating to securing the web and other online communication technologies. The most required for cyber law is integrity and security of data, security of government data, intellectual property rights, protection and confidential of data and legal status of online transactions. Below are the examples of Malaysian law that will address this issue. Malaysia Computer Crime Act 1997 CCPA. Malaysia Computer Crime Act 1997 has been drafted to provide offences relating to the misuses of computers and to complement existing criminal laws. Hacking or computer crime is not defined in the CCA, but the word uses is unauthorized access to computer material. By implementing the Computer Crime Act 1997, computer users can presently ensure their rights to security and construct beliefs within the computer system. On top of that, this act moreover enables the government to track all the illegal activities, hence reducing the cybercrime cases. This Malaysian law can reduce the risk of hacking. First, Digital Signature Act 1997. This Malaysian law secures electronic communication, particularly on the internet. Digital signature is an identity verification standard utilizing encryption procedure to ensure against email forgery. The encrypted code comprises of the user's name and a hash of all the parts of the message. By attaching the digital signature, one can guarantee that no one can eavesdrop, intercept, or tamper with transmitted data. By doing so, a more secure and safe electronic communication might be done. This law also had to overcome these issues as well. Second, Telemedicine Act 1997. This act gives security against the misuses of computers and computer criminal activities are granted by the Computer Crimes Act 1997, such as unauthorized use of programs, illegal transmission of data or messages over computers, and hacking and cracking of computer systems and networks are banned by this law. Therefore, to those who disobey this law can be charged on the court. All laws serve many purposes. The mainly ones are establishing standards, maintaining order, resolving disputes, and protecting liberties and rights. Law is a must to check the wrongdoing committed. Law is required to check the wrongdoing committed. Cyber law is a portion of all legitimate system bargains within web system and network security. On the case in point, we can take the above issue as by cybercrime committed by the attacker as can be sentenced under Computer Crime Act 1997 law. This law is mostly focused on misapply of computer system activities. It includes three sections, hence focuses on the unauthorized use of a computer. Hacking covers situations where a violation has occurred and further offenses are likely. This will also help when a computer is altered illegally due any denial of service act, unauthorized utilize of programs, unlawful transmission of information or messages over computers and hacking and splitting of computer systems and arrange are prohibited by this law. Additionally, this issue is also can be used beneath Digital Signature Act 1997. The Digital Signature Act 1997 directs on promoting the preparing of exchanges, particularly commission exchanges, electronically through utilize of advanced signatures. This act is an empowering law that permits for the advancement of, among others, e-commerce by giving a road for secure online exchange through secure online and guarded electronic communication. As the occurrence, the attacker did caught and pick up to the gadget. The attacker can be charged beneath as this law as well. Finally, the conclusion. Today, hackers are spread over the world in large quantities. Numerous government and private organizations like FBI, CIA, state police are working to detect these hackers, but we do have a few duties to secure ourselves and our private data from online fraud. Apart from this, individuals who are uneducated should be given data about debit cards, credit cards, the web, and computers. We know it could be a bit difficult to catch these hackers since they sit in one nation and hack the computer from another nation. So the most perfect way to avoid these things that we must be very careful. An alert and all IDs and passwords on the web should always be unique and strong. At last, I would like to say that if you utilize the internet appropriately and utilize the secure websites, at that point it will be difficult for hackers to hack your information. This is all from us about ethical hacking case study report. Thank you.